Behold the Geo Metro Convertible in what I'm going to describe as electric blue. Don't mind my shadow. And yes, it is pretty much as wonderful and awful as one would expect. This is just a quick walk around tour. We're not going to get into too much of the particulars, into the weeds as far as the pros and cons of this car. We'll save that for another day. And we'll also save it for another person. There's this guy, I don't know if you've heard of him, Doug DeMiro. Anyways, he did a review on this car. And if you're watching this, you should probably go watch that. Because, yeah, he's going to wax poetic, give his 2.5 cents on this thing. So we're just going to go over this specific Metro and take a quick little walk around tour so we can see it in all its glory. Does have a little bit of damage on the outside here, but overall beyond presentable, especially for one of these. These kind of don't exist in any condition anymore, let alone something that's presentable. But it is not without its faults. We got some rock chips here on the hood, a little fadedness on the Geo emblem. Damage here on the bumper cover. Paint chip here. Some scratches. Some chips in the sill here. On the top of the rocker from someone getting in and out. Some scratching above this absolutely rad graphic. A bit of damage here on the bumper, the quarter panel, a little bit of fading to the top of the bumper. Looks like she spent some time in Iowa. This is actually a high point here. I think somebody closed the deck lid here on something and it cracked the paint, and it's over time it's gotten worse. It's not rusted, but there's some damage there. Trying to be as picky as I can. Wheel covers. Some of them still say Geo. Some of them it's worn off quite a bit. Scratch here. Some light scratching here. Also, I don't know if you can see the shaking here. That'll accentuate it pretty good. That's just how this car is. I thought it came with bad motor mounts when I first grabbed it. Nope. That's a feature of the 1-liter 3-cylinder engine. It's quite a bit shaky, mostly at idle. It's not so much bad when you're driving it, but at idle, it's definitely there. And yeah, even if you go back and look at some of the old reviews of these cars, you go look at Motor Week, you can still find that video on YouTube with John Davis himself looking at it. They showed this thing sitting there idling, and you can see just the engine just flopping around in the engine bay, and that was with a car with like 100 miles on it. So that's just kind of how these cars are. You weren't paying for refinement, folks. We'll pop the hood, we'll take a peek. But interior's pretty darn nice. Original seat with the cool exterior paint color piping. I don't know if you can hear these cars driving by, but there are a lot of people slowing down to sneak a peek at this thing. But that's what this car's good for. Yes, that odometer has rolled over once. 129,000 and counting. Dash is great. Center stack is nice. We've got manuals and such. The little emergency key. Some fun stuff in there. Let's take a look at it. Windshield's in good shape. Well Also, you can see spent some time down in Texas. There's a little fisheye here, little bullseye in the glass. But no major cracks or nothing. Oh, look at that bad boy. No major leaks. The person who had it before me kept pretty darn good care of it. Humongous radiator. AC, it is present. It blows cold-ish. It's not exactly anything to write home about. And pretty sure this is an R12 system, so, you know, just be aware of that. But I haven't really used AC, I just have it top down. That's the point of this car, is to have it top down. Let's take a peek in the trunk. But true economy car fashion, that means I gotta shut it off. Don't mind my stuff back here. We don't have a whole lot to highlight back here, except for this struts are worn out. Whoever had it before me also included this wonderful broom handle. I might buy struts, but yeah, effectively that's the little trunk, the little vinyl pass-through. Goes straight to the passenger compartment. There's literally just a curtain. Yes, a curtain. So the last party trick, I don't want to completely undo it, but we'll put the top up. If you want to see the full tried and true top operation, while I haven't seen Doug's video, I would assume that he has a whole song and dance about it. Because on this car, there's not enough features to not feature that. It's about its one thing it's great with, besides fuel economy. It's having a convertible top. These guys fold in. This guy picks up. It's caught on the other side because it didn't open it all the way. Sometimes it's easier to flip this passenger seat forward. Gives you a little bit more room. I'm not going to fully latch it because I like driving with the top down, but that is the top. It's all complete, it's in good shape. These seams aren't pretty, but they're definitely holding. There's nothing coming apart, nothing separating, no cuts, no tears, no nicks and cuts of a blade. And I'm pretty confident this has been replaced. I don't think this is the original vinyl top. But it is vinyl. It's in good shape. It goes right back on down. These guys flip back, and you get the idea. That's the Metro in all its glory. We'll take it for a quick spin. We'll run it around. Again, check out Doug's video on this car. And I might make a whole other video on this car just because I kind of want to talk about it in general. I've owned it for a few months now. Had some fun with it, drove it to San Diego and back. So I've got some thoughts on the pros and the cons of owning a Metro convertible. Either way, let's go take it for a spin. Alrighty, let's go for a drive in the wonderful Geo Metro Convertible. Let's go. about as spirited of a drive as you can have in this car, almost, without hurting yourself or the car. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Follow along, see how the auction goes. Bid often, bid early. Of course, check out Doug's video. His is going to be a little bit more insightful than this little drive and the little walk around tour you just did. Normally I'd shut it off here, but let's do a quick U-turn and you can see all the power this thing makes going up this little grade here. Alrighty, here it goes.